Good day, Ritualians. I am Mr. Victor Talastas Reyes, the Communication Arts Department Head of Ritual Colleges Incorporated. Today, we are so grateful to have here with us a certified public accountant from the United Nations Development Program, all the way from the United States of America. Let us all welcome Ms. Florecita Flores. Good day, Ms. Florecita Flores.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. And I'm so excited to be part of your forum.
Thank you very much, ma'am. So we are so blessed that you have graced our Career Forum 2020. So for today, as we start our discussion, would you like to please share with us your student and your career life journey? How did you begin in your career, ma'am?
Okay, so I went to the Philippine College of Commerce in Manila, which is now called Polytechnic University of the Philippines. I I took a 2-year course so I can work after 2 years and continue my bachelor's in science degree in accounting. So at the age of 18, I started working for the Bureau of National Education. After 1 year, I moved to the International Harvester. And in 1972, in February 1972, I started my job with the Asian Development Bank, which is an international organization, a multicultural one, and this is the beginning of my international career. I I work in Asian Development Bank first in admin capacity, and when I passed the CPA board in 1971, I transferred to our accounting department. I There is always a path for accountants to grow in any company. So starting from an entry level for a few years, then I moved to a supervisor of one of the section of our accounting department, which is called investment, because it's an international organization. We invest in different countries, mostly in the United States and in other European countries. So I stayed with Asian Development Bank for 13 years until January 1985, when I decided to try my luck in the United States with with a with a purpose in mind of continuing my international career. So I applied with the United Nations in New York and I got accepted. So from April 1985 up to November 2010, I was working for the United Nations Development Program in New York City in the US. The United Nations is a very large organization. So it gave me a mobility to move not only within the organization, but in different countries as well. I I joined a peacekeeping mission in Cambodia for 6 months in right after their war, which was 1992 and 93. And when a better position was opened in Geneva, Switzerland, which is in charge of a small office for finance and procurement, I applied for that post and got accepted. So for 1 year in 1992 to 1993, I was working in Geneva, Switzerland. It was it was one of the best adventure of my career in the United Nations. because Europe is a different continent from the US, and it allowed me to travel on official capacity and as a tourist within Europe. So because I cannot, all my children are in school and my husband works in New York City, I decided to return to New York City in after 1 year until I retire in 2010. But that is the short version of my career.
And we will go back to the details later, ma'am. What an impressive career and life accomplishments throughout the years. So, ma'am, from all of your experiences, from you were a student, which part of your student life were you the proudest?
Which part
From which part of your student life were you the proudest?
of my student when I was a student?
Yes, ma'am.
Uh, when I was in college, I always have, well, when I was in high school, I always joined every organization, which
Mm.
I believe was my training ground. It gave me self confidence and it gave me leadership ability. And when I went to college, I was only free for 2 years, my basic course, and I still join organization like the student council. I run. It's always there's always something you learn from interacting and from trying leadership position, even while you're a student. So after when I went to third year, and which when I started to work full time and part time study, I didn't have much time anymore for anything except full time job and studying.
Well, I think, ma'am, that's very noteworthy that students should really join in different organizations. Just like in your experience, you have improved your self confidence. And thank you for sharing that, ma'am. Ma'am, can you please take us back to your first job? What was your first job? And what do you think were your strategies back then to be accepted in your first job?
Okay, after 2 year course, the only position you can take is admin, like entry level position. So I took the first job that I got, which was for the Board of National Education under the Department of Education. And I got accepted there because I have the skills they were looking for. They need someone who could take the minutes of the Board of National Education, which is comprised of the Secretary of Education, um, two senators, and dean of big schools. So my qualification and my skill match what they were looking for. And I was able to articulate those skills when I got interviewed.
So thank you for sharing that, ma'am. Ma'am, what we can really learn from your first job experience was to be skillful and ready for the job you are applying for. And I guess our Ritualians should learn from that, that before they really go into applying for a job, they should really prepare and focus. And now, ma'am, what are the things that you are proud of now that you have a lot of achievements in your career? Moving forward, ma'am.
Well, I had always been proactive in my career and I have always expressed myself so that even our controllers has confidence in my skill. I would he allows me to come with him to meetings of high level officials because I know exactly what I'm talking about. And so I think also of my because I have a deep knowledge of what the United Systems accounts and rules and regulations are, and I had acquired that knowledge by constantly studying the
Mhm.
system and constantly improving on uh, because the systems keep changing, so you have to change with time. If there's a new software, I have to be aware of the new software, and that's on top of the basic knowledge already of accounting. So you cannot rest on your laurels. You cannot rest saying, "Oh, I already know accounting. That's it." Because in this computerized time, the system keeps changing. It's the basic principles are the same, but the software and the technology changes. So you have to be on top of the technology. And that allowed me to move around. That allowed me to have a latitude of working in different places and being recruited all within the same organization but different offices.
Thank you, ma'am, for sharing that. What Ritualans could really have for their takeaways is that you have to be knowledgeable and you have to be in a constant search for growth. We can really sense that Ma'am Flores was really a hardworking person and has really the potential to always be updated on what's the latest trend in accounting. And I guess, ma'am, that's really true that we have to go with the change. We have to really um, be really expert at flexibilities. So thank you, ma'am, for sharing that. And our students would really be inspired with what you have shared. Now, ma'am, I'd like to ask, how would you describe a successful accountant? How would you describe a successful accountant?
Okay. First, you have to be qualified. You have to take the certification like the CPA, or in the Philippines, it's always the CPA because in UK it's called chartered accountancy, but the basic principles are the same. So first you have that qualification, and after you have that, if you still wants to go ahead in your career, you could take a master's degree in business administration. Um, and then you have to be qualified in accounting software. There are always certification in accounting software. You have to take those exams and be certified and be able to complement whatever the accounting knowledge you have with whatever the new accounting software that comes in the market. And you have to be able to present yourself because there will always be meeting and presentation. You have to be always um, you have to be able to present yourself in a convincing way and in a way that they can see your point. So the verbal communication is a very important aspect also of your success.
Thank you, ma'am. So those two important points are noted. First, we our students should dream of becoming a certified public accountant in the future. Whether here in the Philippines or just like in your experience internationally, they have to be certified. And second, they need to have good presentation skills. And I think to be globally competitive, we have to be ready to face anyone and to be knowledgeable on the field that we have chosen. Thank you, ma'am, for sharing the traits of a successful accountant. Now, ma'am, at this moment, I'd like to ask you, what pieces of advice and tips can you share to our aspiring students in order for them to reach their dreams?
Okay. My tips are tips for life as well, not only in work,
Yeah.
because you cannot be successful in your work if you cannot be successful in your life. And these are the things that have guided me in all the struggles and in all the successes. First, it's for me, first is always to be grounded in my faith. You have to have faith in God. That has always been that's my number one principle I follow in life. And then you have to dream big. Don't limit your dreams by your present circumstances. You if you think you can dream to go to the star, then dream that. Your dream should be a lot higher than what, because otherwise you're limiting yourself. And number three, you have to be independent, resilient, reliable, trustworthy, and yet humble, because these are characteristics that will be very important wherever you go, even in the corporate or international organization. So those are the basic things that I have followed all throughout my life, and it has helped me.
Thank you, ma'am. Those words are really gold. Something that we can really ponder for the whole day and for this Career Forum 2020. Ma'am, would you like to give our ritualians a personal message, a personal closing note? Can you please address them? Our students are called ritualians.
Rich Wellian. Well, to all your Rich Wellian students, um, I can say that you have to dream and you have to keep dreaming. And don't say that I am poor or I don't have that, I'm not that intelligent, because those are limiting yourself. Because I was poor, and it didn't limit my dreaming of going to working in an international organization, going to America, testing the waters in Europe. So poverty is not a weakness. It could be a strength. And for those, so keep dreaming and nurture those dreams and be your own advocate. You have to steer your own ship. You have to be the captain of that ship. And good luck. And I wish all of you success in your future.
Thank you very much, Miss Flory Flores, a certified public accountant from the United Nations Development Program. Maraming salamat po, Ma'am Flores. Indeed, our Richwellians can say, yes, we can. Thank you very much for this wonderful opportunity of meeting someone like you who's very inspirational yet grounded. Proud na proud po kaming mga Pinoy na meron po tayong isang Tessie Flores, isang Flory Flores sa United Nations Development Program. Maraming salamat po, and we are so honored and blessed and grateful to have you here on our Career Forum 2020. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you for having me.